I can't keep up with their numbers anymore.
Well, the Glock 45 is a 19X basically. It's Glock 19 slide with a 17 frame.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
I've got the 19X.
Oh, do you, Mary? I know that.
Yeah.
The 19X is nice, but I really like the Glock 45 better than the 19X.
Yeah.
I don't mean that in a bad way. It's the 19X. Ben had one, and it was a real good shooter. It really was. And I didn't like the flared magwell on it as much.
Mm-hmm.
But I'll tell you what, for accuracy, that 19X was nice.
Did that magwell not make it easier to load quicker, or just feel weird in the grip, like too bulky?
No, it felt weird in the grip, I think. Probably because I wasn't used to a flared magwell on a Glock.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, they have some aftermarket ones I've seen. I tried them, and I was kind of like you, because for me, it's with a smaller hand issue. I can't just the way my hand sits on it, it feels funky. But I can see where, if especially competitively, you would probably give you a little bit of advantage on a quicker reload. And I guess if you were trying to defend your life, it would do it. So, Marion, does yours have the flared well on it? Your 19X?
Yeah.
How do you like it? Heck, I'm gonna put this in to show you guys. Who knew we'd do a 19X review?
I usually take it for when I'm training. I don't carry it or shoot it all the time.
Ben open carried his.
Yeah.
So, Marion, how do you like it in comparison to your SIG? Is it just big difference size wise?
Yeah, it's big difference size wise.
Have you carried the 19X?
In between, I like my 48X.
Is that my Ben?
Hi.
Hi, sunshine.
Sit down, dude. Because John's not worth it, and Marion's not worth it. Is that what you're saying?
Well, the two ladies are cool. I don't know about John.
It's just Marion. You calling her
It's
two
just
ladies?
me tonight.
Yeah, Candy's working. Jerk. So, Ben, we kind of got into a 19X discussion somehow. How'd you like your 19X?
I love it. It's a great gun. I'll probably get another one at some point. I kind of miss it, actually.
We just talked about the Glock 45.
I mean, yeah, the Glock 45 is the same thing, but 19X is tan, which is, way more tactical and cool.
Yeah, that's right.
I guess if I fell in the mud, it would be good camouflage. Awesome. So everyone doing okay? Everyone staying healthy?
Oh, yeah.
Good.
And just so you know, John, I do have shorts on. I'm not, pantsless.
I assumed pantless, so I was just going to roll with it. No big deal. Nobody actually sees this part, so that you can dress however you want.
Well, if somebody didn't change the time.
Hey, I had to be in. So literally right now, without you guys, I'm sad. Sorry. All right. Any comments, questions? Ben, you hanging? So I'm going to call this first part Trav's Tidbits, because he's going to do a little review for us on the CZ. Was it A01-LD? Is that right?
Yeah, the A01-LD.
God, could they make that title any longer?
Really?
What does that even mean?
I'm going to take it right from the CZ page, a lot of things.
That's fine.
I read about it online. I saw someone had posted it, and I really am a CZ fan. I firmly believe in everybody has, their preferred weapon, and it's not that I think CZ is superior to any other weapon, Glock, SIG, whatever you might, have. But the CZ, what I like about it is CZ makes a full frame revolver. It's not polymer. They do make a polymer gun, a PO7 and a P10. Did you say revolver? Or revolver, semi-automatic. Sorry. So it's a hard steel. It's not a light gun. So you've got a lot of control with it. And they make one that's particularly nice, the CZ SPO1 Tactical. I got 3 of them, I think. 3 or 4.
Of just that model or different CZs?
That model.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Different calibers and different styles.
They're all 9mm except for that 40.
That is a different caliber.
But it's I got guns I will shoot you. But I mean the A01-LD, they say it really well here. The A01 is the evolution of the Shadow series, as Angus would have done it. The guy from CZ. The frame is for show, for the star of the show, and it's hammer forged, CNC machined and then glued. Very obvious, it's massively heavy dust cover, which kills both recoil and muzzle rise. It's got a deep beaver tail, an undercut trigger guard, raised 22 LPI checkering, and internal magwell. It combines the CZ75 ergonomics with proposed features for ideal competition. It is a competition pistol. It is not carry. If you carry this, your pants will probably fall down.
So I missed it. Does this have a bull barrel in it? Is it?
Yes, it does.
It
I was
does.
getting
Okay.
to that, but thank you for interrupting.
So sorry.
You know, can you please go stand in the corner and think about what you did?
It wouldn't be the first time.
All right. Now, to ensure the trigger's up to snuff, both the hammer and the sear are directly pinned to the frame to solidify trigger pull consistency. The double action pull weight is about 8 to 8.5 pounds, while the single action clocks in at 3.5. And a very short reset is standard. The trigger itself is lifted from the CZ A01 Combat.
8.5 pounds on the double action? That's like a crossbow. Good Lord.
Yeah.
Actually, you'd be surprised. It doesn't feel like it. It really doesn't.
So they really.
Unless you have a Colt like revolver, your double action is going to be the exact same thing. Any double action, single action hammer fired gun is going to have a really hard double action pull, and that's actually pretty standard for most of them. Even HK and the FNX 45 is a pretty high double action pull.
The slide is CNC'd from 4140 bar stock and features front and rear serrations and the CZ custom low mount rear sight and fiber optic front. The icing on the cake is the 4.925 match grade bull barrel.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, made from 416 stainless steel, built for the higher capacity. It's got a PO9, PO7, P10 magazine platform, and it ships with 2-round 19-round magazines. So that's really 19 plus 1.
Oh, wow.
It is chambered in 9mm Luger, 19 plus 1 frame of steel. It's double action, single action. The barrel is match grade stainless steel bull barrel. The length is 4.925. The weight is 51.2 ounces, and the overall length is 8.6 inches, and it has an ambidextrous safety.
Does it have an option? Does it have an option in 40 or 45? Or is it just 9?
It's just 9. The A01-LD. There's an ST, and I can't think of the real difference, but I mean, that's the weapon there. It's a nice heavy weapon. It kind of will remind you of a 1911 in a lot of ways.
Yeah.
But you know, you gals were talking about pinging steel the other day.
Yeah.
And this gun will ping steel all day. I took it to the range just to shoot it the other day, and I took the target all the way to the end of the range, and I hit center with this thing, shooting it all the way at the end of the range.
Kind of looks like a Browning High Power.
Yeah, it's amazing. Well, the CZ is one of the most cloned pistols around outside of the 1911. Browning High Power look like a CZ. The Tanfoglios.
Yeah.
EAA makes one, the SAR V6P, that type of thing. But I've found that CZs, the ergonomics on the weapon alone are outstanding. Ben actually open carries his SP01 Tactical. He's got real nice rosewood grips on it. They're not Kokobodo, sorry, Muffy. They're not a concealed carry weapon unless you get the 75 compact they have, or they make a Rammy, which Ben discussed on last week's show. But I encourage anybody that's out looking to, if you see a CZ 75B, which is the original model, 75B, or you see the SP01 Tactical or the 75B Compact, pick it up and feel it. You're going to feel the difference in that versus any other weapon you have. Like I said, they do make polymers, the PO7, P10. Not a big polymer fan with the CZs. I own no polymer, but I have about, how many CZs do I have? 26 to 30, I think. They're all over the place.
I'm sorry, what?
26 to 30 CZs.
Holy shnikes.
Is that all?
Is that
Yeah.
all? Marion. Marion, have you ever shot a CZ?
Not a handgun. I do have the Scorpion.
There you go.
Very nice.
And in fact, I shot it today. We just put a scope on it and got it sighted in.
Look at
I
you.
like it.
Is it the rifle version or is it the pistol version?
It's more of the pistol version,
Okay.
Scorpion.
They're cool.
Well, a Scorpion is a pistol version. It's
Right.
kind of like my B&T KH9.
Yeah.
I thought they came as a full rifle too. No,
They make a carbine.
Yeah, it's the
carbine. That's what.
yeah.
Sorry, carbine.
Yeah.
That's what I was.
So, like with Ohio laws, well, ATF laws, anything shorter than a 16-inch barrel on a carbine rifle length requires you to, if you want to put a stock on it, have the SBR tax stamp.
Right.
CZ makes the shorter barrel, so you can get an SB tactical brace, put it on there, and it's still considered a pistol.
Yeah.
Which like MP5s, everything like that, they all have that.
Yep. Yeah, I've got that little PS. My little PSA.
16-inch.
So Ben's the Rammy. Is it a full steel frame? When
The
you're
Rammy?
carrying? Yeah. Is it a full steel or is it polymer?
Yeah, it's full steel frame.
Full steel
So like like a dad said, they make a couple different types. So he has a CZ75 compact. I have the 75D, which is a decocker versus a safety, and it's also aluminum alloy frame, so it's a lot lighter. So if I wanted to carry that, but for the most part, all CZs except for the P01 and the 75D are going to be full steel frames. And speaking of full steel frame guns, talking about like ergonomics and everything, the feeling of the CZ makes the SIG obsolete. SIG's a great gun, the 226 and the 229, but it will never fit in your hand like the CZ does when you first take it out of the shell.
That was actually going to be my next question. The grip looks like it is very sleek and very contoured to the hand. Where exactly the SIG was the first thing that popped in my mind was how does that compare? But thank you. How's it feel compared to like a Glock or a Smith & Wesson M&P?
Well, I mean, anytime you go from a steel frame gun to a polymer gun, it's always going to be a different, feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like my Glock 19, I love the finger grooves. It feels really good. The CZ doesn't have finger grooves, but it doesn't need it. It fills your hand out properly. But it's not just for one person. I mean, anybody that comes, I will sell a CZ steel frame gun just based off the feel every single time. It has nothing to do. I could literally tell them all about it. When they're like skeptical, they put it in their hand. They'll take it that day. I mean, every CZ that we have come through First Strike is sold because of just letting them hold it.
That's awesome.
I bought Ben one. I don't know if it was for his birthday or yeah, he wanted an SB01 tactical, and I found one for him, and I bought it for him, and I brought it to the range, said happy birthday, you're still an ass, but he popped it out of the box right then and there, threw a mag, or loaded a mag, went out to the range, and he just drilled the center with this thing with every round. Blew out the center of this target. And he just kind of turned. He goes, "I like this." I'm like, "Oh, I hope so."
And you have different benefits from going from the aluminum alloy to the steel frame. When you're shooting a steel frame gun, just like that A01-LD, you want it to be as heavy as possible. It reduces your recoil ungodly amounts. I mean, I can take a Glock 19, which is smaller than my SB01 tactical, and just with a tungsten guide rod and a compensated barrel, it still kicks more than the full-size SP01.
Wow.
Because it's just so heavy. I mean, it's just perfectly balanced in your hand. You shoot it. You keep your sights on target more often. Obviously, if you know what you're doing. Some people can go out there and shoot and they don't know what they're doing, and then you're kind of screwed. But if you have any sense of accuracy, you can go out there and do anything with it, and you'll shoot it better than any other gun you own.
Can we back up here real quick?
Oh, we're going to bring up accuracy? Because
was that a poke?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Dad came up the other day, and I was actually kind of shocked because he usually doesn't shoot a lot of his guns because, I mean, they're nice guns, and I get that. I have one or two that I don't shoot very often because they're safe queens. I have a SIG 1911 and that P01. Actually, I have an OD green season.
Oh, yeah.
I traded my dad for one of my guns, and I've never shot it. It just sits in the safe because it's something that's nice. I like it. So,
Well, if he shot one a day, he might get through all of them.
No, we come out, and the one thing, like when I teach the learn to shoot classes and stuff, I think a minimum of 1,000 rounds through a gun is when you're actually more comfortable with it and you know how it's going to react and you become better. But he brought it up and he shot this A01, and I was very surprised that he would, and he let me come out and shoot it. I went out there and he left the center for him just for me. I know he did it on purpose just for me.
I just wanted to feel bad,
I go out there and I'm like, I load up 5 rounds and you drilled the center. I mean, it was like a dime-sized hole.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, it was ungodly. Like it was a great gun. I looked at him. I set the gun down. I walked away. I was like, "Don't worry, I'll make you look good and leave."
That's awesome.
how far is the end of the range in that thing?
It's about 60 feet all the way out.
Oh, is it really? I thought it was 75 for some reason.
No, I threw a round target all the way at the end of the range, shot the round target, and I was right around center with that A01 with 5 rounds. I mean,
for not ever shooting it or anything like that, not getting used to the gun. I mean, it's like it's almost impossible. Like, you just have to not look at your sights to be inaccurate with it. Like, it's like I said, if you know what sights are and you can't shoot that, then you shouldn't be shooting a gun. It's that good.
And Travis, I missed it. What's is it a 3-dot sight on it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
No, it's a completely blacked out back sight with a fiber optic on the front.
Oh, okay. What color is the fiber?
Red.
Red. Nice. Easy for us old guys to pick up.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to take up too much of your time on the CZ, but
this is fine.
Listening, definitely pick up a CZ. Help yourself, dude. Pick up a CZ. Research the CZ SP01 Tactical, or even just a plain 75B. Do I still have that 75 in the bathroom, Ben? The one that was in the bathroom? I had a couple that were in the bathroom. I kind of realized it when it was there. No, it's the stainless. Let me see that one.
You a stainless one?
Yeah, it's like one of the first.
Right.
Is it still in the bathroom? It might be. I don't know.
Did you say in the bathroom?
Yeah.
You got a place to poop?
This is the original 75B. I mean, this is like an original one. And just picking up the 75B alone and to feel the ergonomics in it is absolutely amazing. This was my first CZ. I bought it from Mike Fotheringham when he worked at Great Lakes Outdoors. And I picked it up, and I was like, holy cow. He goes, CZ is one of the best. And after this one, I couldn't stop buying them. I bought so many. And I had people that say, hey, why don't you sell me one of your CZs? And I just look at them like, you're on crack. I think Ben is the only one that has one of my CZs, and that's the Rammy, actually, isn't it?
2 of yours have the Rammy and the teal one.
The OD Green NATO one, yeah. I had 4 OD Greens at one time. 4.
And when you get to 30 or 40, you lose count of what colors.
Yeah, I got them for great deals. Ben used to get so mad at me when I'd make great deals, on these guns. But
you both. Don't even talk to me. You both. Every time I talk to you guys, somebody has come out of.
I don't have any guns.
I mean, excuse me. Ben has helped other people get really good deals. So here's a big question, Marion. Which gun do you keep in your bathroom?
None.
You don't keep the Scorpion on the shower hook.
No. I'm not in there that long.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So I think a lot of people probably don't have a lot of experience and don't know a heck of a lot about CZ. As we were talking about this, Travis, and you keep talking about CZ, and Ben talks about how great they are. I realized I was like, I've shot one in my entire life, and I know nothing about the company. I was like,
what'd you shoot?
Odd. I think, what was the last one you just held up? It was 75?
75B, yeah.
Somebody brought one to a class, and that was really my only experience with it. I was like, what was that?
Marianne.
He's leaving, Marion.
Oh,
Bye, Marion.
Bye, Ben. Love you.
Take care.
He had to run. He's got important things to do.
He's an important guy.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
Marion, have you shot any other CZ besides yours?
No.
Did you see him come through like any of the Well Armed Woman stuff?
No.
Yeah, there's such an, I don't want to say rarity, I think is what.
Yeah.
And I don't think people know how good a gun they really are because.
Yeah, I'm not that familiar with them.
Yeah,
So-
Marion, if you come up this way, come to First Strike. I'll bring a few of my CZs up there, and I'll even let you shoot the A01-LD. And I guarantee you, once you do, you're just going to be blown away. I mean, you're a shooter. You're going to be absolutely blown away.
So he'll rent a truck and bring all of them with him.
I'm going to need 2.
So I didn't realize. So this company is basically a Czech company, and I'm going to slaughter this. So it's CZ A01-LD, and it translates to Czech Armory. So they have a sister company. Dates back to 1936. I had no idea. It's established as a branch plant of CZ A01-LD Strednois, which they started producing stuff in 37. They were focusing on military and civilian arms. and this is not stuff I know. I'm stealing it right from their website. The first products out the door were aircraft machine guns and military pistols. So, yeah, pretty cool. Small bore rifles. And sadly, in World War II, the plant came under Nazi occupation and was forced to produce and repair military arms for the Nazis. After the war, they returned to production of both military and civilian arms in equal measures. In 1950, the company became a separate state enterprise, and I'm not even tried, but it translates to the Precision Machine Tooling Company. Very original name. It was reorganized into special departments, and then the 70s and 80s, they got into some other stuff and drive shafts and casings for airplanes. So then they did some restructuring in the 80s, and that's when they really started kind of, it sounds like, focusing on more of the small arm stuff in 1988. And then 90 saw production of the Czechoslovak armed units. And yeah, I had no idea that this company had been around this long. And then they've got CZ USA, which is headquartered in Kansas since 1998. And they basically import all the CZ stuff. So it's almost like a separate entity into itself. But they do all the importing, and they're also the ones who are importing all those Turkish 12-gauge shotguns and other 1911s. And I didn't realize they have a deal in a subsidiary. Excuse me. They have a deal where they take subsidiary of Dan Wesson and take care of those guns. So I didn't know that was a thing. So I learned a lot this week about CZ.
Yeah.
No idea.
The one thing that I got to stress about a CZ that I didn't cover is, with like your 19X, your SIGs, 1911s and stuff like that, your slide's external. It sits on the outside of the frame. A CZ slide sits inside the frame.
Is that why they have such a low center? That's what I noticed.
And I'm telling you, inside the frame just adds to your accuracy like you wouldn't believe.
I saw that on the Canix. Have you shot the Canix?
Yes.
And very similar, I think, setup, right? The way the slide sits kind of lower on the frame?
Yes. To a point, yes.
But CZ even more so, huh?
Yeah, and you're talking on a Canix or something like that. There's a lot of polymer on a Canix, so you're getting a lot of that snap, even though it's a longer gun.
Yes.
But, CZ, the way that they've milled their slide and engineered their slide, I have not found another weapon that matches the internal slide for CZ.
Marion, have you shot the Canix at all?
No.
Well,
it's a great gun.
Is that where's that come out of, Travis? Do you know? I've got Saudi Arabia in my head for some reason, but that might be wrong.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. I do not know. I couldn't tell you, John. I don't want to guess.
Yeah, that could be one of those ones we review in the near future because they seem to be getting really popular.
I don't have a Canix.
I don't. I've shot a couple that people brought through class, but I'm seeing more of them in classes.
Yeah, I've heard of them, but I have not shot one.
Have you seen any in well-armed women meetings?
No. I knew somebody but bought one, and she loved it.
I think the price is fairly decent, and I mean, fairly well-made gun. I haven't seen them come apart, so that's a bonus.
Well, they make a Target one that's amazing.
Yeah, and again, that's a newer. The company may not be newer. I just see more of them now coming on the scene. So I don't know if they just started importing more recently. I had to do some background on that and figure it out. So, yeah, craziness. Cool. All right. Any other good stuff on the CZs?
No, not at all. I encourage anybody to get out there and shoot a 75B or an SP01 tactical, or like I got 2 Shadow 2s that I love. Anything in that range, and I guarantee you, when you shoot them, you'll buy one.
That's awesome. I love it. Good. So we'll get out and try to shoot a CZ and come back. I'm going to try to get my hands on a couple, maybe shoot Travis's and report back how they fit my little hand, because I got a hand of a 3rd grader.
You'd be blown away, John.
Yeah, that's like I said, that 75 that I shot way back it felt good. So I'd be curious what some of the newer ones feel like. All right, so shenanigans in the news this week. So I know there's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and I don't get too political, but this one caught my eye. So Marion, did you ever watch Looney Tunes growing up?
I did.
And besides the Looney Tunes you deal with every week here?
Yeah, true.
So did you ever watch Bugs and Elmer?
Oh, yeah. What
was Elmer known for, Marion?
His shotgun.
And hunting rabbits, right? Wabbits.
Yeah.
So anybody see this story this week? This
I did. I can't
we,
believe it.
we've lost our damn minds.
Yeah, we have.
So, Mary, what happened to Elmer this week?
They're going to take away his shotgun.
Same with Yosemite Sam.
I heard they're going to hit Yosemite Sam too. How are you even Elmer Fudd or Yosemite Sam without a firearm?
That's right.
This has gotten
It's
stupid.
disgusting.
That you know what? That is a good way to put it.
It's just, what's this country coming to?
So Travis, you watched Elmer Fudd when you were growing up?
Absolutely.
And Marion watched Elmer Fudd. I watched Elmer Fudd, and I'll bet you none of us has shot anyone yet. I'm putting yet in there.
Right.
Are you talking about being caught or plausible deniability? No.
Yeah, I know we went through the whole thing back in the 80s with rap music and video games causing violence and stuff. Listen, if you weren't raised to be a little turd, watching Elmer Fudd with a shotgun is not going to make you – it might make you hunt rabbits, and I did hunt rabbits growing up. On occasion, I'll hunt them still, but this is baffling to me. So from the Yahoo News, in the new Looney Tunes cartoon series – it started on May 27th on HBO. Well, HBO Max, excuse me. The Huntsman is back in action, but his signature rifle has been swapped with a shiny new scythe. So they took the hammer and sickle from a commie flag, and that's his new weapon. What? Seriously, I mean, what? So if you kill somebody with a shotgun, it's bad, but if you chop their head off, so I'm thinking this has a lot to do with Antifa. I mean, what? This is crazy to me. So they switched up weaponry. Is reportedly a change made in response to U.S. gun violence. Yet despite this modification, the classic Looney Tunes violence and mayhem will still be allowed. So here's a quote from the executive producer. "We're not doing guns," the executive producer and showrunner Pete Braungart told the New York Times, "but we can do cartoony violence. TNT, the Acme stuff, all that was kind of grandfathered in." So the two things I probably actually learned from Looney Tunes was I wanted to work for Acme and classical music, right? Anytime I hear classical music, I'm like, oh, I learned that on Looney Tunes growing up. Who knew that was a thing? This is baffling. So the article goes on to say, the show will stay true to the spirit of the original while reflecting modern sensibilities, the executive producer said. So sticks of dynamite, elaborate booby traps, and apparently cannons at close range will very much be in play, in addition to the requisite anvils, bank safes, pianos, and famously fall on unsuspecting heads. So
but you forgot missiles strapped to your back to catch the Roadrunner.
Thank you. I mean, how much are they going to do away with any of the Roadrunner stuff? I guess there were no guns there.
Yeah, he did actually use guns. He used anti-aircraft guns at one time.
But I guess that falls under cartoony violence, not actual shooting violence.
Yeah. It is absolutely, what we've come to is, and I'll say it, John knows me, I say what's on my mind. It's libtardia. It's the new world of libtardia. It's kind of like Narnia, not real, but libtardia is where all the libtards go and try to live their fantasy life that they're in until they have to force themselves with reality.
We are living in an upside down world. I'm losing my mind. I really, it's nuts. Absolutely nuts.
It is nuts.
So the all new series from Warner Brothers Animation, Looney Tunes Cartoons, finds many of the beloved classic characters in their standard pairings and simple gag driven and visually vibrant stories. The new series consists of 11-minute episodes, each comprised of animated shorts and varying length. So I really kind of feel like this is, I hate to talk about plots and be a conspiracy theorist, but I feel like this is a communist plot that they're going to use the hammer and sickle. I'm like, what in?
Well, you heard what they're doing with G.I. Joe, right?
No, please stop. This is going to crush me, isn't it?
No, I was surprised because now they're throwing water balloons at each other instead of using munitions.
I'm going to cut your mic. Stop it. That is not. I was getting all serious. I was about to get all angry, and you got me. Nice. Very well done. Very well done. Sorry. I don't mean to belabor it, but it baffles me. But what do I know? So, if we're going to teach our kids firearm safety, I guess, programs like what Eddie the Eagle, stop, don't touch, go tell an adult. That's a great program. If you want to teach your kids, if you think Elmer Fudd is influencing them. Marion, have you taught Eddie the Eagle?
No.
No, I haven't either. I'm certified, but I've never actually taught.
Yeah.
Yeah. So are there well-armed woman, is it there? It's all adult oriented, right? There's no
Yeah,
younger kid stuff. Okay.
they have
I
to
know
be
there was
21.
21. I don't know if there were programs that they were so that we could counter Elmer Fudd and his violent tendencies. Crazy.
I
Another
teach children.
what? Yeah, I anyone who wants to bring their kids to any of my classes, I absolutely will work with kids, and I have. If somebody takes a concealed carry class from me, I throw it out there. I'm like, listen, if you've got kids and you're not comfortable talking to them, or if you got a kid that, like a lot of kids don't want to listen to their parents, and you want a third party to, I gladly, absolutely would talk to the kids or take them out and show them some stuff. Actually, the next thing I wanted to get into is a good way to teach kids. So I stole some of this from pewpewtactical.com, and I'll put the link in the show notes. I learned on a daisy pump as a kid. There's the venerable Daisy Red Rider from Christmas Story. My kids learned on that thing. I literally used a Winchester 1000 the other day and killed a critter trying to kill my chickens.
Wow.
Yeah. So it got one of them, but I picked it off before I got a second one. So I was like, I hated to do it, but I love my chickens. But that thing's 1,000 feet per second, a pellet traveling that fast.
Wow.
Plus I have my neighbors live fairly close by, and the guy behind me would probably not appreciate me touching off a 12 gauge at dusk. So
I know.
yeah, I stayed.
Well, you got the dragon's breath. I can bring over some of that.
Why don't we just do the flamethrower? I can burn down the field in the back simultaneously because it's a little overgrown right now. It's not a bad idea.
There you go.
So yeah, there's a bunch of BB guns and airsoft guns out there. Do you guys do any training with either the BB guns or the airsoft guns?
Nope.
Now, I've always used a 22. One of my favorite ones to use is the Henry 22.
Oh, great product.
Yep.
Great product. And that's, you're right, Travis. That is a great starter gun. And actually, it's a great gun all around. But if you're trying to teach kids early, not a lot of recoil there. You still get the noise. You still get the bullet traveling down range and hitting a target. It's a beautiful thing. But yeah, I started out, like I said, with one of the Daisy pumps. One of the guns I've seen out there that from Pew Pew Tactical, I don't know why I laugh every time I say that. There's a Crossman M4. So this thing, guess what it's shaped like?
Yep, it's an M16 variant on a CO2.
Yep, that's exactly. Hey guys, hold on half a second. I've got to switch my pre-recorded show over to a live show. I'll be back in 2 seconds.
Okay.
I found Marianne, one of the things I found that really is difficult for me when I'm teaching somebody, whether it's an adult or a kid, is if the parents are there with the kid or a spouse or a significant other is there with the adult, because they always want to intervene. They always want to say, well, this and this and this. When I teach kids, I'm like, you have your kid here at this time, leave.
Right.
You guys sounded good this week.
Of course, John.
So
did you guys doubting it?
Did you listen to the actual podcast?
Yeah, I did.
It actually sounded. I am really impressed. That went off well. We had fun.
Nope, I haven't heard it yet.
It's out. It's on the. Well, we just played on Carmen, then it's up on the podcast. I loaded it yesterday, I think. So went a day early, just so I wouldn't have to mess with it tonight.
Okay.
By the time I get home, God knows I'll be exhausted and worn out. So, all right. So yeah, the Crossman M4. So Travis, you've seen this and played with it, or just seen it?
Yes, I have. I've seen it. A friend of mine bought one for his daughter.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Is she? Are they use it quite often, or did he use it to train her?
Outside, he sets up a box with a print a target off of the internet, and she's 8, I think, and he's taught her how to hold it, the safety portions of it, how to shoot it, and so forth.
So, Miriam, what do you think about using a military-looking firearm BB gun to teach a kid?
I wouldn't have an issue with it. I don't see why not.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. That's I just always like to throw those questions out there because I guarantee there are some people who would go into shock if they saw that they're
probably get over it. Grow up.
Oh, let me Marion on fire tonight. Grow up, get over it. I love it. You make me smile. So this thing, it is a pump, which I was kind of surprised by. I thought they would have well, I guess the pellets can be loaded almost bolt action-ish, but it does shoot BBs and pellets. So this thing supposedly has a 200-yard range. Now, Travis, have you seen them shoot this? Does this thing seem like it's got enough juice to go? I'm thinking
Absolutely.
That's like really not like a mortar round, like straight flight,
No.
200 yards.
I'm telling you, it's like the crack barrel pellet gun. It's how, the pressure that's built up from your pump or your crack barrel. And that thing, I'll tell you what, it comes out of that barrel pretty damn fast. It's a 177 pellet that it'll shoot, or the BBs, your regular. Oh yeah, it goes right through the box.
That's crazy. Good stuff, man. That's like I said, I've got that. My Winchester 1000 it's a crack open, and that thing that hums, man. But a lot of times when you see them that hold, a bunch of BBs and a bunch of pellets, they don't always crank out. But when I saw that 200 yards, I was like, holy shnikes, that's beautiful. Good stuff.
That's going to be your pellet. It's not going to be your BB. Your BB's not going to go more than 60 without, flying up or down or right or left.
Looking like a curveball.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always anytime you're running airsoft and BBs, the pellets tend to stay true, but yeah, BBs tend to. So yeah, if anyone's looking at doing some training with BBs, you're not getting any longer distance with the BBs. The pellets, if they're holding at almost 200 yards, that's impressive. But that's a great way to train somebody with all marksmanship skills. Sight alignment and sight alignment and sight alignment.
Yeah.
Swing that sucker at 200 yards and hit a target with it. That's teaching somebody to actually use a real rifle. That's awesome.
Well, just think about it. The pellet is the same thing as the 17 HMR.
Yeah. Oh, great point, Trout. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Sure is. Wow, never even thought about that. Huh.
Yeah.
Flat flying. That's good stuff. Some other things if you're looking for BB gun to replicate a handgun. So Umarax, I love these guys. I've got some of their stuff. They make an M&P 40, which would be basically the same as the 9 almost. It's a full-size replica. These things are cool because they will fit your regular holsters. These things are great for practicing competitively. You can run this thing in your basement and shoot targets all day long. Go out in your yard. The distance that these shoot aren't quite as far as that rifle, that's for sure. Yeah, these are cool. The airsoft versions, we've done some training in our home even where you kind of set up a fake bad guy and you can corner and stuff and practice right in your house. So that's pretty slick.
Yeah.
You can fire those airsoft pellets you literally take a shirt and hang it on a hanger, and that's bad guy. You walk through, or you can if you want to set up a box that collects the pellets so you're not mangling windows. That's a great way to train. It's, you can teach cornering and all kinds of good stuff. So it's a really good way to train. And force on force with some of these airsoft guns, man, we've spent 2 or 3 days on this in classes, and nothing beats it, setting up scenarios and whaling the crap out of each other and loading each other up with a bunch of airsoft pellets. Now, I would not.
Funny you said that, John, and I'm sorry to interrupt, but it's funny you said that. I've worked with a lot of people on shooting, and you get a lot of people that want to take the I call them tactical classes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And they think that they're Ninja Warrior, Chris Kyle, Navy SEAL, until you give them paintball guns or airsoft guns, and you just put goggles on, nothing else, and you tell them go run the gauntlets with this and peck at each other, and then you start hearing the ow, hey, and they're not getting hit as much, And I'm like, what? These things hurt. Well, imagine real rounds coming at you now. How tactical are you? You know?
People are willing to take a risk when there's no pain involved.
Yeah.
Yeah, so even something as simple as an airsoft gun, those are 350, 450 feet per second. They mark you, the sim rounds, things like that. Regular paintball guns, that is a whole nother ball game. And people start thinking through, you're right, Travis. It's like, oh, maybe I don't want to take that corner quite like that, because in real life, I probably wouldn't want to do that. So,
I shot Ben in the butt with one.
That explains a lot.
He was sleeping, and he thought it was the coolest thing in the world. So I walked in, took the airsoft gun, packed him in the butt. He had his shorts pulled tight. I'll tell you what, he learned real quick.
Every time I see him, he's got his shorts pulled tight. Little cutoffs. I know how he is. Little booty shorts. I hate to admit this, but we had BB gun fights as kids. It's amazing we still have our eyes, but there was some pain compliance there that you didn't make some movements unless you were 100% sure you could clear across that room, or there was an old busted up building in our trailer park that we could get into, and it's amazing. Like I said, we can all still see. Too funny. So some of these, not only do these Umarax stuff fit your holsters, but a lot of them are run off of CO2, so they reciprocate. The slide moves, so that's kind of a extra thing. A lot of them have fiber optic sights. My Umarex that I have, it's the slide is blue, but the sights are fiber optic sights. Regular fiber optic sights fit in my muzzle. Good God, fits in my holster and runs just like a regular gun for me. So it's I love it for training. Yeah, it's good stuff. Daisy makes a Model 340. I used to see these at Walmart all the time. Walmart seems to have dumped all of their BB gun pistols and airsoft guns. Still carrying rifles, but I don't see the handguns anymore. This one is a replica of the Beretta 92, and it shoots BBs and pellets. So that's kind of cool to be able to go back and forth. Again, a little more accuracy out of the pellets probably. This one's not as powerful. It's only, I think I saw something that's only is like, this might even be spring operated now that I think about it. Which is good because if you've got even a smaller backyard, there's not as much power there. If you're carrying a Beretta and you want to practice or you want to teach a kid with something similar to a full-size Beretta, these are great. Holds 200 BBs. So that's a lot of reps. You know, if you want to just practice your draw stroke and fire one, how many times you get a chance to draw your gun and fire a round or double taps? Not that easy to do around here unless you're out somewhere, looking for you're out at one of these clubs or something where you can get outdoors and do that. It's not that easy to find. Most indoor ranges, unless you've done some training with them, won't let you work on that kind of stuff. So this is a great place to practice some draw stroke. The Crossman, so this is another one that popped up in this article. The Crossman Vigilante revolver. So this is a double action BBM pellet revolver, full metal frame, gives you the feel of a revolver. Here's where things would probably go wrong for me with this. I'd end up in a self-defense shooting and they'd probably confiscate all my guns and take this thing with it. And I guarantee it would end up in the trial. And they'd be like, Mr. McCreary, Bernie Getz, you consider yourself a vigilante? And I'd be like, what? And they'd be like, this vigilante revolver you carry that goes along with your Decapitator 3000 we found.
Decapitator 3000.
That's my knife that goes along with my vigilante revolver. And they'd be like, Mr. McCreary, are you the guy who gave razor blades to children when you worked at a TV station? And I'd be like, yep, that's me. So, yeah, that's I'm always worried about stuff like that when we get into, when you start looking at carrying a real gun or even a practice gun around that has things like Judge and Vigilante and Decapitator 3000 on them. I've hit on this before. You got to be careful with that kind of stuff. So what do you guys think with the BB guns and the airsoft? Good training, bad training? Is it something you're teaching kids too soon to use a gun that looks real that they might think is a toy?
It depends on the child and the parents.
Yeah.
What do you think, Marion, as far as do you think there's a certain age kids?
Parents. I mean, if they're, taught up front, gun safety and, not to touch the parents' guns and all that, I don't think it's a problem.
Yeah. Travis?
I think it's okay, but I like I said, I'm not political. Let's look what happened to that kid in Cleveland that had his BB gun running from the cops and pointing it at the cops.
Yeah, right. Exactly. He was pointing it at people, and the police come in, and I don't think it ever was relayed that it might have been a kid, and they roll out and jump out of their car, and all they see is somebody. And the kid might have pointed at him as a joke. You know what I mean? He's a kid. He didn't know.
Yeah.
It was the Beretta 92 model too.
Yeah. See, and I mean, these things, you got to be really careful. These things are so realistic looking that if a police officer came on the scene with that, they absolutely would either shoot you or draw on you. And this is one of those things where I want people to go through some training and let me point an airsoft gun at you. And how quickly can you make that decision that that's not a real gun? So a little bit off topic, but I think those are the things you have to look at when you start using these type of things for training.
Oh yeah.
And a little bit along this topic, when you're talking about training kids, a lot of these companies and, I know Candy has a purple gun, but some of these guns are starting to look a little bit like toys. And then you had the knuckleheads who were, what was it, 2 or 3 years ago? They were modifying super soakers with guns inside.
Yeah.
Holy cow. So now you got to not only worry about, okay, is that purple gun a real gun? Is that super soaker just a super soaker? And then they're putting other things in super soakers that, burn your eyes, caustic stuff. What a nightmare, man. That's a hot mess. But that's a little bit of probably could do a whole nother show on that anyways. But yeah,
Yep,
if you're
probably.
gonna train your kids, you're right. I think you need to realize I think Travis, you said that the mentality of the child. Are they mature enough to be ready for that? And then the parents, because there are parents who will teach their kids some pretty crazy stuff.
Yep.
What the heck was that all about? So
You play Call of Duty, it's just like that.
yeah, and you know what? Kind of along those lines, and I don't know how to even make this happen. I would love to do like a Call of Duty day and get as many guns from Call of Duty together and invite kids who are like in the community to come out and see what it's really all about and make them realize how deadly that really is and how those guns really work and make it an educational thing. I think it'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But that's just me.
No.
Oh, hey, you did a well-armed woman last week, right?
Yes.
Give me rundown on that. How'd it go?
It went great. We had super weather. We shot the steel, and we had about 7 people show up, and everybody had a great time.
Any newbies?
No.
No. Well, that's okay. At least you got 7 people out to shoot. That's great.
Yeah, it's just people are still a little cautious, so.
Yeah, understandable.
And a lot of our people are older, so.
And we've scared the hell out of them.
Yep.
And honestly, that age group, if they're older, absolutely, they're the ones who need to be the most cautious. So absolutely, good for them. But being outdoor, you're able to keep that safe distance. And
yeah, that's why we're doing the outdoor thing.
Yeah, ringing some steel. How fun was that for everyone?
It was fun.
Was that the first time for most of them on steel, or?
Quite a few of them, yes.
Yeah. Did they have big smile? I'm like a 12-year-old. When I ring steel.
Yeah. Oh yeah, they loved it.
It brings a big smile to my face. I love it.
They loved it.
Awesome. Good. So the next one is the first Tuesday of the month next month? Awesome.
Yep.
Every time I screw that up every time. So I just need you guys to keep reminding me.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, Marion, thanks. And we will talk to you next week, hopefully.
All right. Sounds good.
Take care. See ya.
Bye.
All right, Mr. Travis.
What's up?
All right. So Father's Day coming up. Was it June 20th? I don't even know. That's horrible.
June 21st.
21st. My kids don't like me, so I don't get gifts, so it doesn't matter. Anyways, so I quickly did a quick search on Father's Day gifts, and I was really looking for shooting and hunting gifts, and I got CNN's gift list first off, so I just had to read it because I knew it was going to be shenanigans. So CNN came up, Brew Fest beer tasting set. Not a bad gift, but it looked a little foo-fooey to me, so I laughed. I don't drink beer, so I couldn't tell if it was a great gift.
It supports the microbrews where everybody gets together and has drum circles and talks about the party.
Drum circles. You are the best. So then they had the Cuisinart Griddler. This thing was kind of like a George Foreman grill. I didn't see where any charcoal went on it, so I skipped. I was like, there's no charcoal? I don't need it. Keep moving. Then there was a Lululemon polo shirt. Isn't that a woman's brand? Am I wrong on that? I could be.
No, polo's male.
Oh, is it? Okay. Lululemon. I wasn't familiar with that brand.
John, don't assume gender, please.
Whatever. I still tend to stay away from women's clothes for the most part, except for maybe underclothes. But anyways, this was the next thing they had. What I Love About You, Dad message book. This was they said for a more personal touch. This is a fill-in-a-blank journal. Let you write your own messages to Dad. I'm pretty sure you're getting this from Ben this year.
Oh, my God. I don't want to read it.
I hope I didn't ruin the surprise.
Oh, Jesus.
Let's see. They had salmon fillet deliveries. I care less. I'll get salmon at Walmart or something, or Giant Eagle.
Yeah.
So a Louis Kai Kahua Pahana sneaker. Do you have a pair of these? I was like, what does that even mean? What? Okay.
No.
A Luakai Kahua Pahana sneaker. These things were like $130, and they look like bad Chuck Taylors. Like, what?
How much 9mm I could buy with $130?
Thank you. I'd go buy a High Point before I'd buy a pair of Kahuna Pahana sneakers.
You should have a hammer.
Yeah. Yes, thank you. A boat anchor to take out on the Kahuna Kahana Bay or whatever. Herschel novel duffel bag. This thing was $90. If I got this for my kids, I would think they wanted me to pack my bags and leave, but that's just me.
Yeah.
Carhartt jacket. Okay, they got me the Carhartt jacket. I'll go with that. So this one made me laugh. An etched marathon pint glass. So this has different marathon routes from major cities. So I kind of like this because I can sit on,
run it. I'll run it tomorrow.
I can sit on a couch with my beer drinking friends laughing at people who are dumb enough to run that far. So absolutely. So there was and I don't even know how to pronounce this. The Globion gift box. You know, if I can't pronounce it, I probably don't need it. These are boxes. Not fallopian. Globian. Oh. Globian. So these are boxes of handcrafted, fair trade, and artisanal products that you get each month. The items vary widely. You can get anything from handcrafted mugs to beanies and chocolates from around the world. Kumbaya. Get your drum circle. I stopped reading at that point. I couldn't.
Yeah, that's people that have the douche knots.
You need to talk to my son. Have you seen him lately? He's got one of those on his head. Smack him.
I will cut it off. I'm going to go hunt him down.
Thank you. Find him and cut that thing off of his head. It has distressed me to no end. So I pulled up some stuff that hunter dads might want for Father's Day, and this came from sofrep.com. Gun seat organizer. So this basically will let you stuff a bunch of rifles right on the back of your seat. So I thought that was kind of cool. Especially if you're a hunter, it's a quick and easy way. Even if you're not a hunter, and by Ohio
I've actually
law,
seen those. They're really neat.
I'm telling you, by Ohio law, right? I can carry my magazine loaded in the outer pocket and keep the rifle in the bag. That's pretty quick and easy access. I like it. Or just carry the AR pistol. That works too. Kestrel Ballistics 5700 Elite. Have you played with these at all? These Kestrels, they measure the temperature, the altitude, wind, distance to the target, latitude, and direction with a ballistics calculator.
Yeah, it's like a rangefinder, but just on steroids.
Yes, and the wind speed. I love this thing. I played with them at a class one time, and some of them plug into your phone. I love.
Oh, yeah.
It just it almost takes the fun out of shooting long distance. But listen, you ring steel at 1,000 yards, you're going, oh, yeah. So I would highly suggest this gift to anyone who gets into long distance shooting or wants to. These are a great tool. So lots of fun. A jet boil. Have you ever played with these?
Yeah.
I have one of these, and it's all contained. Literally, the thing screws on the bottom. The cup has a little handle on it that your hand slips in, and you cook right in that cup and then eat or drink out of it. It makes it super easy. They're lightweight. So, yeah, if anyone's into camping or hiking, I would suggest that for Dad. That's good stuff.
Wow. So
this is a MODL complete utility bottle. So this thing's a 1.1 liter food grade silicone bottle, converts into a hands-free bottle, a traditional sports bottle, or a spray shower, and has a water filter. Holy cow.
God.
That is glamping at its finest right there. But I guess if you're a big hiker and you're out in the woods a lot, this might not be a bad option.
Wow.
Good stuff. Outdoor Life had some pretty cool stuff. This is pretty standard, but love it. The Vortex 1500 rangefinder. This thing, along with a Kestrel, holy cow. This thing ranges out to a mile.
I have a Vortex rangefinder.
Oh, do you really? Does it go that far out? You need it for that Valkyrie.
The funny thing is I've never opened it. It's sitting in a bag.
In the bathroom with the other CZ?
Yeah. It's above the sink.
Is this so you can spy on your neighbors? Why'd you buy it? What the?
No, that's what my thermal's for.
Oh my God! I just spit my water out my nose. What is wrong with you?
So many things, John.
Yes. So here was one. I go back and forth on this. This is a Wheeler's gunsmithing tool set. So it's nice to have stuff that fits all the different guns. But that's funny. I was converting a Vepr 7.62 at one point, and I did a YouTube video on it. The guy actually commented that he's like, "Oh my God, I'm cringing while watching you work on that because I just use like a standard screwdriver and some other primitive tools." And he was so taken aback by the thought that I would work on a gun with that. It's like, dude, it is a Vepr. I can cut this thing in half and probably put it back together with super glue and it'll work. Those are guns.
Veprs are great guns.
So Caldwell makes a shooting bag, so you can wrap your rifle in it, Blackhawk, the shooter mat. This thing rolls up. This is for delicate flowers like me, so when they get down in the dirt and have to shoot prone, I like to be able to have a very comfy place to snooze when I'm shooting from prone.
I just tell Ben to bring me the cot.
Bring the whole cot out? That's awesome. Just roll the couch out.
You wonder why I towed a lazy boy around.
So stop calling Ben a lazy boy. That's rude.
Oh, my bad. I didn't assume his gender either.
So Caldwell makes a shooting bag combos. You can pick these up at Walmart. They're cheap and an easy way to zero your gun or your pistol. Fairly inexpensive if you don't have a huge budget for dad. We talked about this earlier, Gambo air rifle. So one of these varmint air rifles, they're great for hunting rabbit and squirrel. If you are in a place where you don't want a lot of noise being made, like a 22 or a shotgun, they're great little tools. So they suggested us, I'm going to mispronounce this, I always do, Swarovski spotting scope.
Those are actually not bad.
They're great, but did you see the price?
Yeah, they're very expensive.
$2,000.
Yeah.
I understand having good glass for spotting scopes, but I'm going to put that much money. I'm going to put it into the glass on my rifle. For $2,000, I'm going to buy a motorcycle and drive down and look at my target.
Yeah, no kidding. Get a quad.
I don't need a spotting scope for that. So, anyways, so good list. CNN's list made me giggle, but guys, children, if you're looking to buy dad something, there's a whole good list there. I'll put some links in the show notes and just go from there. Travis, anything else on your mind for this week?
Nothing on my mind, John. I mean, I appreciate the time to go through the CZ and stuff. I encourage kids to get out of the norm and don't be libtards. Talk to your kids about, gun safety and stuff like that. Whether you're for or against, the more you alienate your kids from guns, the more intrigued they're going to be and the more risk they will have even at later ages. I know a person that bought his first gun at age 35 and he was so pumped. He bought a 1911, which 1911s you should always do when you've had training. And what did he do? Shot the side of his foot off.
Holy shnikes. What?
Yeah, not too bad. It took,
not too bad. Just a flesh wound? What?
Yeah. You got cocked and locked and take that safety off. You better make sure you're ready.
Man, that's an educational thing. If you don't know how that works, oh, wow. That's probably not a great starter pistol, but hey.
Not at all.
Kids, I encourage you to go out and find the original Looney Tunes and watch all of them and really laugh hard. Listen, if I were really a violent human being, the Three Stooges, Looney Tunes, all that stuff would have made me a psychopath, but I'm just a sociopath, so I turned out okay.
And Natural Born Killers, great cartoon.
Natural Born Killers cartoon. They made a cartoon.
Sure.
On that note, I'm going to bid you a beautiful evening, my friend. Thank you for joining us and doing Travis tidbits on the CZ. And we will catch up to you next week. God bless.
Any review you want to do, I've got a ton of guns. Just let me know.
Oh, you better believe it. Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Have a great week.
Best of the family, John.
Bye, sunshine.
See ya.